You think I might be bothered by the renovating going on next door. I'm actually not. For my videos, I am connecting with spirits. And the nice thing about this is that spirit activity can level up when you have all of this noise and this digging up of things, banging in walls, opening up walls. They're totally renovating the apartment next door. And that's what I'm feeling. I'm welcoming spirit into my apartment, which is actually from 1927. And I know that lots of very well known people lived in my apartment building. There were even prime ministers. I'm in Canada, and even prime ministers and some well known MPs lived here. So there's lots of history where I do live. And in my neighborhood, it's actually called Prime Minister's Row. So there is a lot of history here. So, that being said, I want to go ahead with a mediumship reading for you, and I will be sharing this in the evening. So, I'm hoping that you are ready to hear messages from Spirit and what they have to say to us. It's funny, I've been thinking a lot about this in starting a new YouTube channel. And who is my target audience? Well, I've actually come to the conclusion that my target audience is spirit. I don't really have a niche in people who I would like to see my videos. It's more just who is interested in hearing anything about things that are supernatural or paranormal, or people who are interested in the other world, whatever you call it. Spirit is here to give us messages, and my target audience, spirit, is just open to whatever spirits want to come through and whatever messages they want to give to us. So, that being said, I don't have any inclination or any inkling of what they're about to tell us through this reading that I'm doing. So, let's go ahead and see what comes up. The first story that I want to tell you about is a woman who lived in my building, and on the third floor. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, and she's living on the third floor. She has her angel wings, so in my books, that means that she was quite religious in her life, or she definitely had a very strong faith. I do believe she might have had a lung issue or a chest issue. The word pleurisy is coming through, and I'm not quite sure what that is. I'd have to look that up. But what I'm seeing is her portrait, and she's showing me her lungs rather than, shoulders and the body. I'm actually seeing that area as lungs. Also, these lungs are underwater, so that's why I'm feeling like she definitely had a breathing problem that was quite toxic to her. You'll see when I put it up on the screen, you'll see that the lungs are in a actual drop of tea, which that for me is my symbol of literally underwater or feeling like she's underwater. I'm actually feeling it physically. I feel like I'm having trouble speaking, and I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm having, like, at the back of my throat and my throat, it feels constricted, and it's very hard for me to get these words out. And I feel like she had this as well. I actually, in the winter, had bronchitis, and this is not that at all. I'm feeling it in my throat, very hard to reach out and speak out. Underneath the 3 floors, she's showing me my toxic symbol. It's almost like it's what you would see on a cleaning supply bottle, the radioactive sign. So there was something that was toxic in her life that led to this. I am definitely hoping it's not where I live and in this building. Or if that happened in the past, I hope that this problem was taken care of. Here with her husband, And I believe he might have flown an airplane because I'm seeing an airplane down at the bottom. He might have been in the military or in the army, in the Air Force. So that's kind of giving us a time frame here. And of course, this building is, as I mentioned, from 1927. So around that time, it's probably when the building was quite brand new. He might have fought in the war and received medals, because I'm going to show you the medal that I see here. He might have actually crashed his airplane as well, or he was in a crash, or he was one to go through a crash site. I'm seeing some bombs here too, so there are quite a few signs here that this was the case. I know he was her love. He's at the bottom here. He passed before her, and she had a love for him. I'm seeing the heart around here, deep love. And another reason why I'm saying that is because there's an eyelash in the cup. Now, I know it is my eyelash, something that is from a human. In the reading, it's a client of mine. If I see their hair or their cat's hair, or in this case, an eyelash. But an eyelash is a sign, a love sign. It is a sign to make a wish. The eyelash here is above her angel wings, so it feels like she had her wishes come true with her husband. So isn't that a beautiful sign that we're getting? Her wishes came true. Her wishes came true basically when she passed and she met her husband. He was there to greet her, and then now they have this beautiful life again together in the afterlife. I feel like those three levels, I feel like they are still on the third level, whatever that means in the afterlife. It could mean that they are living on the third floor in my building, or they are still here right under me. I am not on the third floor, I'm higher up. But that's what she wants to get across, that she's on the third level. The apartment that is being renovated is on the fourth floor, but they recently did renovate the third floor, one of the apartments. So I'd be interested to see if it was actually that apartment. I would love to know the history. She directed me now to go to the bottom of the cup, which I don't usually do. I usually save that until the end, but she's directing me there, and I'm seeing another story. It's the story of her husband's passing and the funeral that she attended. I see her fully dressed in a beautiful outfit with a tight skirt, and I see it coming out at the bottom. Sorry, I'm quite choked up. This is where she had her illness come on. She was actually quite choked up at his funeral. I see her throwing a rose down into the graveyard coffin, the area where his coffin would have been lowered into the ground. And she did have this illness in her throat, in her lungs at the time. So I don't think she took too much time in her passing afterwards. I feel like she was already sick. I see an arrow pointing at the back of her neck. So that to me is the throat thing too, almost at the back of her throat, but it is pointing there. She was full of grief when he passed. Just full of grief, and that exacerbated her illness and in her breathing. I'm feeling much better now that I've been able to get this story out. It's almost like She felt like she couldn't tell her story, and that's why I was feeling constricted. My throat was physically constricted because she felt like she couldn't orally tell this story. So I'm here telling it for her. And that's why I say my target audience is spirit. They really want to get their stories out no matter what. If they're still here, I've mentioned different planes that people are on. They maybe haven't quite crossed over yet, or they're easily able to communicate with us. And in that case, they're just like chomping at the bit basically to give us this information. They feel like they need to be heard, just as we feel like we need to be heard here on earth. It's the most important thing, right, in life. People just want to be heard. And that's what I feel like I'm doing here, just giving the chance of people, even in spirit, to give their story to us. But I wanted to say that the message here is a message of love and about a couple, a husband and wife who were very close. I feel like that they were caring people. I'm seeing a very nice looking face in here, very, very humble. It feels like a humble person. And I know that there isn't a lot of that, perhaps even where I live. I mean in the past. I don't mean now. Ottawa was a very violent town. It was Bytown before it became Ottawa, and there was a lot of fighting. It was very violent and rough and tumble, and lots of negative things went along here. Sir John A. Macdonald's house is very close to where I am, and I know that I've heard some stories about him and even his wife. So I don't think that this couple in here are like that. I feel like they are very kind and wanted to show that they did some good things for the city, and not that they need to be recognized for that, but it is something of a legacy that she wanted to get across. Now, I did see a couple of initials here, and I'll put them uh, in the video here, and you let me know what you think of the initials. I do see an E. I do see a very large N, I believe, N as in Nigel, and I don't mean the name Nigel. I don't think that's the name at all, but it could be something to do with an N. I as well. So E, I, and N that I feel like I'm seeing. But you let me know what you think here when you see them. Okay, so it's a little bit of a mystery, and I love that. I do like to sort of do a deep dive into things, and will do that because this isn't going to leave me. I'm going to want to find out more information. So I hope you've enjoyed this story. I hope that this woman feels like I am giving her a voice to what she wanted to get across. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon.